I have been completely alone for 11 years. No wife, no close friends left, most of my family gone, and I need to tell you something that is going to sound strange. These have been the most peaceful years of my entire life. Now, before you think I'm going to tell you loneliness is beautiful, I'm not. The first 2 years were the hardest of my life, harder than anything. I would wake up at 3 in the morning and the silence in the house was so loud it felt like a physical thing, like something pressing on my chest. I'm not going to pretend that away, but somewhere in year 3, something shifted, and what shifted was not my circumstances. Nothing changed on the outside. What changed was one simple understanding, and that understanding is what I want to give you today. The understanding, core thesis. Here is what I understood. I had spent my entire life, 80 years, measuring myself against other people's presence. If people were around me, I was okay. If they weren't, I was failing somehow. Like being alone was evidence that something was wrong with me. That belief, that quiet, invisible belief, was the source of every unhappy day I ever had alone. Not the loneliness itself, the story I told about what the loneliness meant. The day I stopped telling that story, the day I looked at an empty room and said, "This is just a room, this is just a Tuesday, this is just my life right now," everything changed. Aloneness is a condition, loneliness is a decision. I want to say that again because it took me 3 years to understand it. Aloneness is a condition, loneliness is a decision. 1. Stop filling the silence. The first thing I want to tell you, and this one is counterintuitive, stop trying to fill the silence. When I first became alone, I had the television on every waking hour, not watching it, just on, for the noise, for the feeling that something was happening somewhere. I turned it off one afternoon by accident, and I sat in the quiet for about 10 minutes before I reached for the remote. And then I stopped. I thought, what exactly am I afraid of in this silence? I sat with that question for a long time. What I found in the silence, after I stopped running from it, was myself, the actual me. Not the version of me that performed for other people, not the version of me that was always responding to someone else's needs. Just me, sitting there, surprisingly decent company. Small smile. Give the silence a chance before you fill it. You might be surprised what's in there. 2. One thing every day that is only for you. The second thing that changed my life alone was this. Every single day, one thing, just one, that exists only for me. Not useful, not productive, not something I could report to anyone. For me, it was the garden. I have a small garden in the back, nothing impressive, some tomatoes, some herbs. Every morning I go out there for 20 minutes. I don't check anything, I don't plan anything, I just tend to it. Those 20 minutes are mine in a way that nothing in my married life, my working life, my social life ever was. Because there is no one to share them with, no one to perform them for. They exist entirely, completely, only for me. Find your 20 minutes. It doesn't matter what it is, a walk, a cup of tea by a window, a book nobody else would read. Own something in your day that belongs to no one but you. 3. Let people in selectively, not desperately. Now, I want to address something because someone watching this is going to misunderstand me. I am not telling you to become a hermit. I'm not saying other people don't matter. What I am saying is this. There is a version of seeking connection that comes from fear and a version that comes from fullness, and they feel completely different to the people on the receiving end. When I was desperate for company, when I needed people to fill the silence, I could feel myself grasping, and people could feel it too. It pushed them away. When I stopped needing and started choosing, when I reached out because I genuinely wanted to share something, not because I was afraid to be alone, everything changed. The same phone call, the same invitation, the same conversation, but from a completely different place inside me. People want to be chosen, they don't want to be needed. Learn the difference. It will change every relationship you have left. 4. Make peace with the past version of your life. The last thing, and this one took me the longest. At some point, you have to stop grieving the life you used to have. I spent 2 years, 2 full years, comparing every day to the days when my wife was alive, when the house was full, when there was always someone to talk to over dinner. Every quiet evening was measured against a loud one that no longer existed. That comparison was making me miserable, not the quiet evening itself, the comparison. The day I said, out loud in this empty house, that life is over, this is my life now, and this life also has worth. That was the day I became free. Not happy immediately, free first, happy came later. Your old life was real, it mattered, you were allowed to miss it. But you are not allowed to let missing it destroy what you still have. I am 80 years old, I live alone, I will probably die alone, and I have made peace with that too. But I want you to hear me clearly. I am not unhappy. I have a garden that I love. I have 3 books on my nightstand. I have 2 phone calls a week that I genuinely look forward to. I have mornings that are entirely mine. That is not a consolation prize. That is a life. You still have one too. Don't spend it waiting for it to look like something it used to be.